Now, fellow Kenyans, welcome back once again, and thank you very much for your greatest support. Let me ask you this question. If you have enemies, suppose you have enemies, what are you really supposed to do? Are you supposed to put your enemies away or bring them close to you so that you can know exactly what they're planning? Because one thing I'm sure of, one thing I learned with Raila Odinga is that Raila Odinga could not put his enemies away. He was always with his enemies. Maybe he wanted to know what these enemies are planning. You know, if you have your enemies and you're just with them there, it's very difficult for them to plan anything to harm you. Then that is exactly what Raila Odinga used to do. But yes, of course, Kahiga spoke ill, but a lot of people are forgetting something here. That you know why I love Kahiga? Not that I love him because of what he said, but you know, one thing I came to learn with Kahiga is that he apologized, and that is the best thing ever. Leave alone people like Kimani Chungwa. I want you to listen to the way Kimani Chungwa spoke back then, and then we continue. Listen to this.
Najua nilisikia jana akisema ati alitaka kuniua. Wewe miaka yako yenye imebaki hakuna mtu anaweza kuua. Tumekuachia Mungu. Na tumwambie Raila, nobody is interested in your life. You are destroying your own life. Wewe mzee.
Now imagine that is Kimani Chungwa. Right now is the one that is really condemning what Mutahi Kahiga did. Why are these people pretending that as if they are very nice, you know, they are the best people, all those things? Yet we know very well that they are not. Now, fellow Kenyans, before we get deeper into this discussion, let me quickly remind you that if at all we are meeting for the first time, don't forget to click the subscribe button. You can as well like, you can share, drop me a comment in the comment section, telling me what you think and where exactly you're watching this video. If you're within the country, tell me which country. And if you're outside the country, you can as well tell me which country or drop me the flag at the comment section so that I'll know it by myself. Now, the burial that I have, the funeral that I have, fellow Kenyans, the burial is going to be on Saturday. So I'm humbly requesting, still remaining budget, bado imebaki hapa na pale kidogo. So ile nilipewa ya mortuary, the body and the transport. Haijafika kilele, haijafika kile kiwango ambacho kinatarajika. So I'm just requesting, guys, keep on coming. It is only tomorrow, Thursday, and then Friday. Mazishi matanga inatolewa. So that is why I'm requesting you that if you're in a position and you can do something, please, naomba tu msimame na mimi kwenye kwa wakati kama huu. I really need your support because you're the only family that I have, fellow Kenyans. Let me say this, that I think Gladys Wanga must have disappeared.
And we know that there is politicians like Kahiga who in the life of Raila Amolo Odinga have used him as a bogeyman to scale their own political heights there. But it is shocking that they continue to make Raila a bogeyman in his death. And what I know is that Kahiga does not speak for himself. Kahiga is the spokesperson of Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua mocked Raila's illness and asked whether he was a virus and whether Kalonzo was a bacteria. To date, Rigathi Gachagua is yet to mourn Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga, who braved political tensions to go and mourn his brother, the late Nderitu Gachagua. And therefore, we note now that anyone who associates with Gachagua and his ilk like Kahiga cannot be our friend. The line is drawn. Yes. Any person who associates with Gachagua, Kahiga, they cannot be our friends. Yes. Whether they are in our party or outside our party. Yes. Kahiga has drawn the line. Yes. To mock, he has crossed the Rubicon. We have crossed that line now. To mock Raila Odinga in his death, to mock him in his life, we could respond. But to mock him in his death, no. Any person who associates with Gachagua, with Kahiga, with that lot, can never, ever be our friend. Because the principle is, the enemy, the friend of your enemy is your enemy.
Leo tena nimeamka ninapata huyu gavana wa Nyeri simply bila aibu yoyote anakejeli maneno ya kuzikwa kwa baba. Anasema sijui baba, sijui amekufa, sijui nini. Nikifikiria hiyo imeisha, gavana wa kutoka kule Homa Bay, gavana Wanga, anashika microphone kama vile nimeshika, anaendelea kuchochea uchochezi against communities of this Republic of Kenya. Na nimechukua muda wakati nilikuwa nafika hapa kuelewa watu wanasema nini. I want to advise those leaders, please take your time, go through even those posts you guys are making. Muone how people are looking at you as retrogressive na watu ambao hawana mbele yao la nyuma. We need to start a new agenda of this nation. Ya kusema kiongozi akishika microphone, kitu ya kwanza ni kuhubiri amani. Wazazi mpo ama mpo? Tuhubiri amani ama tuhubiri vurugu? Ya pili, ukishika microphone, you have to give agendas zile zinazosaidia hawa wananchi. And I want to call upon us to do some reflection, especially wakati saa hizi we are mourning one of the leaders wale wamekuwa katika hii nchi yetu ya Kenya. Nimeona Wanga anasimama anasema Gachagua, Gachagua. Gachagua hajaongea hata hajashika microphone kwa sababu he is mourning baba. The only person respectively mourning baba is Rigathi Gachagua because he has kept quiet. Aliandika message kwa mtandao ya heshima na akamalizia hapo. Everybody else anajaribu kutumia advantage ya kukufa kwa baba politically. Wanajaribu kuonyesha sijui mimi na baba tuliketi chini tukasema, mimi na baba tuliongea. My friends, the only legacy, if you respectively unaheshimu baba, the only thing ile unafaa kufanya ni what he stands for, ndio kitu ungesukuma. Baba alikuwa ule mtu wa tusiani. Wewe kama unatusiana, you are not giving a legacy to baba. Baba akiongea alikuwa anaongea maneno ya kuhakikisha serikali imefanya vitu yake. Even when he joined the broad-based government, alikuwa anaambia huyu Ruto, wacha abductions, wacha kuua vijana wetu, na alikuwa anawaambia hapo hapo. Wakati wewe unasimama unasema sisi tuliambiwa na baba tukae kwa serikali, serikali ikiua watu wetu mnanyamaza. Ojwang comes from Homa Bay. We cannot accept such things. Na hiyo nimesema kwa sababu
Gladys Wanga might have disappeared and nobody knows where she has gone to. I'm saying this because Raila Odinga Jr. Remember the Kikuyu Council of Elders, the Kikuyu elders went to mourn with the family of Raila Odinga.
Nitwamuhoera Ngai witu mutumia ucio wa ndigwa kumagia riu we no ugete ibuku riaku ate atumia ndigwa ni aku mutumia ucio tuika muthuri wake no twaka theini wa mucio wa muthuri o mutigaire Ngai witu tigete nake wake na iretu ake kuria guothe mariumagaraga witikagira kumagaragia hamwe nao ngai ĩno bamĩrĩ no ya Raila tondũ ĩkoretwo ĩhetwo gĩtĩo kuma tene na tene rĩtwa rĩa Raila na nyũmba ĩno yake rĩtikana fade tũkũrĩharĩrie na mbere tũrĩ athamũ ithuothe tũkiuga thai thathaia ngai thai thai thathaia ngai thai thai thathaia ngai thai. May the peace prevail here now and forever and evermore. Amen.
And after their prayers, the cantations and all that, Raila Jr. said that anybody who is feeling to go and mourn with them, they accept it and he can just go.
Tumeshukuru sana nyinyi wazee wa kwenyu vile mmefika huko Bondo, na tunakaribisha watu wengine pia wote wakuje huko Bondo, wanaweza omba na sisi na kukuja kutembelea graveyard.
And I've seen a lot of people are talking about, oh, Gachagua this, Gachagua that, Gachagua that, mara Gachagua sikanyage. So
we heard yesterday that Gachagua and his team were supposed to pay homage to the home of Raila Odinga. We urge Gachagua, never, don't step in Bondo. Don't step in Bondo, as your statements are not very friendly to us as ODM.
I was like, Gladys Wanga, you know, it is so bad that you can be promised something that you know very well is difficult to get. I'm just trying to look for a way of how I can put it. But what Gladys Wanga did was not right. You know, trying now to make it look like Rigathi Gachagua is the one that sent Mutahi Kahiga. Yet Kahiga himself is saying that no, nobody sent me. I came by myself. I just came by myself and I felt like I need to say this. So don't blame it on anybody. Don't blame it on my community and all that. In fact, he did that. He said that I was saying that he resigned from being the council of the council of governors, the chairman of the council of governors.
So, thank you very much, fellow Kenyans. I want to take this moment to address issues that have emanated from a vernacular clip that is circulating in social media. From the very onset, I want to sincerely apologize to our mourning nation, to the family of the Right Honorable former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, Mama Ida, her children Rosemary Jr. and Winnie, Honorable Senator Oburu Odinga and Honorable MP Ruth Odinga, and other siblings and their larger extended family, the ODM fraternity, and the Luo nation and Kenyans at large. And to my colleague leaders from all sides of the political divide for any harm that it has elicited. The clip was taken while attending a burial in my home village, and my remarks were in no way celebratory. What I meant is that under the current broad-based government, we have seen skewed development and politically the loss of the Right Honorable former Prime Minister Raila Odinga sent everyone back to the drawing board. As the popular saying goes, God takes the best, and it is in this context that I made those remarks in vernacular. Let me also make it clear that the remarks I made are my personal views and therefore should in no way be associated with the community's position or any political affiliation, nor the Council of Governors. Finally, in noting the huge public interest that this issue has generated, I am taking responsibility of the real and perceived meaning of my remarks, and as a result, therefore, I have decided that with immediate effect, I am going to step down as the Vice Chair of the Council of Governors. And as I do that, I also pray that the soul of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga continue resting in eternal peace. God bless Kenya. Thank you very much. How do you say that in?
But I want us to say the truth here. And of course, you know, whenever you say the truth, that is where now sometimes we draw the line. This is what I'm thinking. Based on what I'm seeing, or based on the plan that is here, there is going to be a very big split in ODM. And this is how these groups are going to rearrange themselves. We have got Anyang' Nyong'o, James Bob Agri Orengo. Then here we have now Sifuna and Babu Wino. And you see these people, Anyang' Nyong'o, James Orengo, Sifuna, Babu Wino, perhaps Kaleba Misi, if I'm not wrong. Those are the people, those are the genuine people that understand or understood Raila Odinga. Because according to them, they are saying that what you've done, in fact, Mama Ida is saying something, he said something when Raila Odinga was during the eulogy concerning Raila Odinga.
That if you're a spouse or political politician, inherit his friends, but don't inherit his enemies. Why do I say this? Because you'll be standing there, you'll be sitting there at home, thinking so and so is an enemy of my friend, my husband, because he belongs to a different political party or he comes from a different area. I tell you, you will be wrong. Don't inherit in his enemies, because tomorrow you'll find that those people that you thought were his enemies are his best friends, and you'll be left out. Be careful when you are handling his friends. Inherit his friends, but his enemies, let him deal with them the way he made them.
Make sure you know your roots. That's the main thing. You know, I came to understand something here, that the main problem that we have as a nation, or the main problem that we have as the people of this country, is that we pretend, we depend on politicians too much to a point that we can't do without them. We had that mentality that it's very difficult to do without politicians, without understanding that these politicians, they're just making their own money. Those guys are making their own money. Like every month they have to be paid. But what about you? What about you, the person that is really defending the... what about you? That is the question actually. So in other words, I'm trying to say that these leaders that are speaking, you know, they just opening their mouth to speak, they're just yapping, but people really don't understand the impact of what is happening or what they're doing. You know, if Mama Ida Odinga is the one that is welcoming his guests, and by the way, how many widows do we have in this country? I think right now the only widow that people know, I know there are so many, but the widow that is common that people knows is Mama Ida. Why is it that these other people wants to carry the cross that now it's not theirs? Party of ODM was started with Raila Odinga, full stop. And then now after that, what next? Those are the kind of things that these guys need to discuss. Not discussing an individual, somebody who doesn't even care about what you're saying or what you're thinking. Why is it that these guys have really reduced the level of maturity in this country? Because you can't tell me that this country is mature anymore. Based on what I'm seeing here, Mama Ida is the one that called. In fact, Mama Ida even sat down with them. Raila Jr. is saying that you come on with us. You see, we don't have problems, don't have chaos, but you come on with us. Only that statement, you know, sometimes I fail to understand where we went wrong. Because when you try to look at the kind of life that, or the kind of things that you're doing, really shows a lot. So if we keep on blaming people every now and then, Marai, I don't think if we'll get where we want to go. We won't get where we want to go. I think that is what I can say, that if we are not very careful, we won't go back to where we came from. As simple as that. After all, guys, that is just my thought, and that is all I have for now. Let me also know what you think in the comment section. Please don't forget to drop me a comment telling me where exactly you're watching this video from. Until we meet again, I've been your host, Boniface. Big.